They see you coming. They know you want some pussy. They know that. They don't think you want to just be friends. She wants you to cut through the bullshit. She wants you to handle it. She wants you to lead, be really clear. They want you to take the lead. They want you to get stuff handled. At a date, they don't want you to, so honey, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You know what? Drive me to Walmart, or Walgreens, I'm sorry. Pick up a pack of tampons. It's an original quotation. And drive me back home. Drop me off. This day is over before it ever began. They want you to have a plan. Does this have to be like a lot of pickup guys, seduction guys? Well, make that first date memorable. Make it a big adventure. Take her to go bungee jumping or skydiving. Maybe one day. But actually, I just take them to the nearest coffee place. Maybe a glass of wine, whatever. I do not do dating. I don't. I do a 30-minute date. I talk to her, I find her attractive, or I meet her online, or wherever. I say, look, you know, I'd like to, I gotta go. I'd like to continue this conversation, maybe over a cup of coffee somewhere. And I got this one from David D'Angelo, credit where credit's due. If nothing else, let's meet for coffee or some stimulating conversation. If nothing else, you look like you might make a nice friend. What do you just tell them? You just tell them, you just want to be friends? That's what guys, you just told her, you just want to be friends. I said, dude, that's what you heard. It's not what she heard. She just heard a bunch of stuff that are just packed into one sentence. It's very compact. It's very precise. I just told her, look, you know, if nothing else, you look like you might make a nice friend. In other words, I'm not attached to the outcome. They don't want you to be attached to them. They don't want you to want her too much. Sure, they want you to want the pussy in her as an expression of her femininity and beauty and all that. They want to be seen and appreciated. They don't want you to conceal your sexual interest. If you do that and you think you can kind of you want to hold it back first and then kind of bring it into play later, ain't gonna work. They just think that, then they really think you just want to be friends. If you're holding back your sexual, I'm not saying you have to undress her, like have eyes, bug eyes like Adam Schiff, and I want her. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, look, you have a natural interest in her. Do you think a woman doesn't know? What do you think a woman thinks when you're talking to her? Do you think, does she honestly believe you just want to play Sudoku or solve crossword puzzles? No, you just asked her for coffee. I remember one time I took a girl to coffee and she said, well, are we going to go to your place now? I said, no. Are we going to go to my place? No. Well, but you said we're going to have coffee. Oh, right. Yes, I did, didn't I? Well, I kind of lost interest during that date. But she said, but you said we're going to have coffee. Let that sink in for a minute. You said we're going to have coffee. I said, we just had coffee. Yeah, but, I mean, you know, you just asked me for coffee. In other words, you just asked me to fuck you. That's what it means, nothing else. And if you're then not congruent with that, it's going to creep her out more. In this case, it didn't creep her out. I just lost interest. I just realized, on second thought, I don't think I want to go down that route. That's not a healthy girl. But typically, they see you coming. They know you want some pussy. They know that. They really do. They smell it 100 yards upwind. They don't think you want to just be friends. I mean, some may. Nature, I said, abhors a vacuum, including a power vacuum, including a leadership vacuum. You don't want to bring out their feminine side by appealing to reason and logic, by arguing. You never argue with women. It's just not going to end well ever. Typically, you need to cut through the content, through the bullshit, and just talk to them directly. Say, look, you know, you're creating drama. Why are you creating drama? Are you bored? Huh. Yeah, actually, maybe. What's the real deal here? Let's cut through the bullshit. You need a hug? Yeah. Actually, that's all I really need. That's a hug, yeah. That's all she wanted. Maybe. More often than not, it's what she wants. She wants you to cut through the bullshit. She wants you to handle it. She wants you to lead and be really clear. Not be creepy and not be needy, not be weird, be authentic, be straightforward. I've had women tell me, like, look, you know, it's like the minute wasn't your looks, it wasn't any of that. It was just like, you made me feel like a woman. I felt emotionally secure. I felt you were a man with a plan, and all of a sudden I couldn't explain it. I just wanted you inside of me. And it's not long ago that I've heard these things. I'm not talking about 20, 30 years ago. I'm talking maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've had women tell me, I don't fuck around that much, but the point is I have permission to do it. I mean, I'm happily married and I'm not lacking anything, but I do reserve the right to do that. I don't like to cheat on my wife. I like to cheat with her, with other girls. It's not that much of a deal. A lot of women, in my experience, 7 out of 10 like women. They like to play with other women. I don't fuck around on them. I play with them. A lot of women love that. A lot of women are into women, but they're not going to act on it by themselves. They only act on it when you're the man and you're doing the menage management. I know this is a little more advanced than probably most stuff, but it's not as advanced as you think. It's not as hard to set that up. If you've always dreamt of having 2 women in your bed, or maybe even 3, it can be done. Make the woman you're with your ally. But that's kind of a sideshow. I'm digressing. It's amazing how counterintuitive, counterimpulsive women can be. When you're listening to them, don't try to be their therapist. Don't try to solve their problem. A lot of times, they don't want you to do therapy. They don't want you to solve their problem. They just want you to listen.